Tonight, major problems. Why Minnesota's launch of a new pilot program for vaccine distribution didn't go so well. And a new effort to stop Line 3. We take you inside a camp that aims to be the next Standing Rock. And a bitter back and forth. Both parties in Wisconsin are blaming each other for failures to fix the state's unemployment system.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Anthony Matt. Thanks for joining us tonight. More people are now eligible to receive the COVID-19 vaccine in Minnesota. But as CBS3's Kendall Jarbo tells us, the first day of registration came with quite a bit of challenges.
Starting at noon today, Minnesota opened registration for its new COVID-19 vaccine pilot program, which is now available for people ages 65 and older, teachers, and child care workers. They were supposed to be able to register to get the vaccine at one of 9 new clinics across the state, including one in Mountain Iron. However, phone lines and the website experienced extremely high volumes of traffic, resulting in many people unable to register. At its peak, state leaders say the website processed more than 10,000 unique hits per second. As of 2 this afternoon, more than 6,100 appointments had been processed. The Minnesota Department of Health said traffic clearly exceeded expectations and people need to wait their turn to get vaccinated.
Please be patient. There is not enough vaccine for everyone who wants it. If you can't make an appointment now, you will be able to make one soon.
The Department of Health says access to the vaccine will increase as the federal government gives Minnesota more doses. Health officials urge people to not visit a state vaccination clinic without an appointment, as walk-ins will not be accepted.
Thanks, Kendall, and we'll have much more on this story tonight at 10. We're also learning tonight people who recovered from COVID-19 might have long-lasting immunity. That's according to a new study. The report in the journal Nature confirms previous research. It shows bits of the virus stay in the body even after the initial immune system response. These seem to induce production of B cells that churn out more antibodies. Researchers examined the blood of 87 survivors 6 weeks and then 6 months after recovery. Vaccinating Group 1B has started in Wisconsin, but that's only for police and fire department employees. DHS has still not said who else is in Group 1B and when they'll have their chance to get the shot. Here's Amanda Quintana.
However, we can't wait until those decisions are made to begin to plan and prepare for expanding access. And so those plans are underway, and I think you will see expansion to other groups within that 1B category very soon.
Very soon. That's the most detail we've gotten from DHS on when the rest of Group 1B could be eligible for a vaccine. On Friday, Deputy Secretary Julie Willems Van Dyke said a committee would make its final decision on who is in 1B this week, then forward that to the Secretary Designee and the Governor, meaning they might be eligible by the end of this week. If you take a look at DHS's website, it says they expect 1B to include people over the age of 75 and non-healthcare frontline essential workers, but no details on who falls in that category. They have said they're not going to wait for 1A to be done before starting 1B.
It's like getting on an airplane. You don't wait until Group A has completely boarded before you open the doors and start letting Group B in. And that's very much what you are starting to see and will continue to see in this process.
It's also an issue of supply and planning ahead. Governor Evers blames the federal government for not giving the state enough heads up on when more vaccines are coming.
One of the things that will help us know would be if the federal government would be more forthcoming with not only the vaccines, but the status of the vaccines.
Despite the recommendations and public comment, it is up to the DHS to decide who is in 1B. That announcement could come any day now. Meanwhile, Republican lawmakers in Wisconsin have refused to take any action on Democratic Governor Tony Evers' plan to upgrade the state's unemployment benefits system. Evers called for a special session to begin today at noon to fix the troubled system. Republican leaders in the Assembly gavelled in at 12:30 and then immediately gavelled out. Senate Republicans followed suit about a half hour later. Republicans have accused Evers of making people wait for months for those payouts. Evers has blamed an antiquated processing system for the delays. All right, let's get a quick look at the weather now with Dave. Dave, it is chilly out there today.
Yeah, chilly enough for a few below zero readings this morning, the first we've seen in about 2 weeks. So you have to get reacclimated, especially in Hibbing, where it hit 7 below. 2 below for Ely and for Silver Bay, and towards Aitken as well. As warm as 7 above, though, in a string in a line from Ashland through Odana towards Ironwood and Hurley and towards Watersmeet. Low temps tonight likely will go below zero in northern Minnesota again. Towards about 5 below or so. So chilly tonight, and then flurries possible on Wednesday for everybody. A few towns did get flurries today, especially from the head of the lakes through the snow belt. Tomorrow's chance for flurries comes courtesy of a low-pressure system that'll be riding along the border with Iowa. So it's going to be its northern fringes reaching into our region with a tiny 20% chance. So if we get anything tomorrow, it won't add up to much, maybe a ½ inch at best. Partly cloudy tonight, low near 0 for Duluth at least, and Superior as well. Partly sunny by tomorrow afternoon as we shake off the flurry chance. Partly sunny sky could lead to another cool down. In fact, we're going to warm up tomorrow briefly. I'll talk about when the chill comes back again in a few more minutes.
Thanks, Dave. Tonight, we're taking a closer look at the Line 3 Resistance Camp, or Camp McGeesee. It popped up this month on the Fond du Lac Reservation in Cloquet. Those at the camp say they're trying to stop Enbridge from replacing the existing Line 3 pipeline, even if it means staying out there all hours of the night. CBS 3's Leanne Valdez gives us an inside look at what they've built.
I made a promise to the next 7 generations that I would do everything in my power to stop Line 3.
Crews working on the Line 3 pipeline replacement project on the Fond du Lac Reservation have some new neighbors, ones who say they are opposed to any potential environmental impacts.
The end goal overall is to stop Line 3.
Water protectors at the camp, as they prefer to be called, say they bought the land on January 9th and set up shop by the 10th.
In under a month, we raised the funds on GoFundMe.
They said they paid around $30,000 for around 9 acres. The camp comes equipped with a heated bathroom that was built for the occasion, and tents are set up around the land to keep themselves warm. A lot of their items have been donated by people in support of what they're doing.
We get a lot of support. We had folks from AIM come by yesterday.
Jeffrey Nichols-Haining says the camp isn't sitting on top of where the pipeline will go, but they're close to the construction site.
It makes it a lot easier for us to go over there and do stuff. It's nice to be able to see what they're doing all the time.
Camp McGeesee founder Tasha Martineau says lately their goal has been to delay the pipeline for as long as possible.
I don't have the education to take this to court, but I do have a strong, able, capable body, and I can put myself in front of these pipelines.
Martineau says they're willing to be at the camp for as long as it takes.
Nimama Aki, that means Mother Earth, she provides everything that you need, and so as long as she'll have us, we'll be here.
Thanks, Leanne. And Enbridge did share a statement with us today. Spokespeople say they recognize the group's right to express their views peacefully, adding that Enbridge won't tolerate anything illegal. Cook County schools are investigating after recent morning announcements sparked outrage from parents. Assistant Principal Mitch Dorr hosts the announcements daily on YouTube. Last Thursday, parents spotted a Gadsden flag in the background with the words, "Don't let the mask become a muzzle" at the bottom. Recently, far-right extremist groups and white supremacists started using the Gadsden flag as a symbol. Dorr said the flag was a joke. He said he didn't realize the present-day context until parents complained to the district.
So I totally apologize to anybody who took that wrong, that flag wrong. I know that it's got more negative connotations in today's era.
Historically, the flag was flown by Continental Marines in the Revolutionary War and is now used to display support for the Second Amendment and limited government. In a letter to parents, the Cook County Acting Superintendent said she understood the incident caused concern and discomfort. They're conducting an independent investigation. DFL party leaders in Minnesota are calling on state Republicans to walk back their comments regarding the 2020 election. In a letter, Minnesota DFL party chairman Ken Martin said GOP members need to correct the misinformation they've spread. He added Republicans need to denounce recent violence, stand up for democracy, and accept Joe Biden as the president-elect.
Enough lying, enough hedging, enough doublespeak. This is unacceptable. It is dangerous. It has to stop.
Martin specifically called out Congressman Pete Stauber and State Senate Majority Leader Paul Gazelka, among others. We did reach out to Minnesota's Republican Party for comment. We have not yet heard back. Candidates for mayor in Ely can start throwing their hat in the ring today. This comes after the man elected turned down the job. Eric Urbis had dropped out of the race for health reasons before November's election. But because he didn't meet a deadline, his name was still on the ballot. He ended up beating out incumbent mayor Chuck Novak. But Urbis told city leaders he did not want the job. Novak is currently serving as interim mayor. Candidates can enter that race until 5 p.m. on February 2nd. Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, we caught up with a Duluth woman who's hiking across Wisconsin. She updates us on her journey coming up next.
Over the next couple of days, temperatures will go up and down. Today they were down, started at 0, finished at 8. Tomorrow starting at 0, finishing near 30, along with a slight chance for some light snow. We'll talk about how long that'll stick around and when the next cool down comes around, coming up after our break.
Live, local, CBS 3 News at 6 with Kristen Vaki, Anthony Matt, Kelly Hinson, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live, local, CBS 3.
Join us weeknights. We're live at 5 as we go around the Northland, city by city.
Reliable Insurance Agency has been offering auto owners insurance to our commercial customers for over 40 years. We tailor your coverage to fit your business's needs. In addition to your policies, we can assist with loss control and other risk management services. And to top it off, at Reliable and Auto Owners Insurance, we make it a priority to get back to you with certificate requests and other contract requirements because we're always here for you.
We can always rely on you.
Reliable Insurance Agency. We're true to our name.
I'm Steve Scooby. I'm one of the general surgeons at St. Luke's. I love being a surgeon and I take my job very seriously, but it's always nice to go home and spend time with my children and focus on having a balance between being at work and spending time with my family. Like most surgeons, I really enjoy being in the operating room. However, I think the best part of my job is being in clinic and seeing patients come back to me fixed and feeling better. Knowing that they're doing well after surgery is really satisfying to me.
We're working hard to provide you with an improved DTA experience. With the Transit app, see your route in real time, get notifications, plan your trip, and more in one convenient place. And that's just one way we're building a better DTA.
Let's make healthy happen in 2021. Join for $1 going on now through February 2nd. For more information, visit AnytimeFitness.com.
For coverage that matters most to you, tune to CBS 3.
Haberman here from Discover Wisconsin. Join me and the rest of the crew every week on this station for all things Wisconsin. Continue the adventure on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and discoverwisconsin.com. Plus, subscribe to the Cabin Podcast, available wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
Missy, it's freshman orientation. Which bow tie says mature enough to be in college?
They both say weird kid who eats alone.
My son, the college freshman. I'm excited to finally use college ruled paper and not feel like I'm living a lie. Everything is perfectly under control. Ah, honestly, who drinks a Slurpee at 11 a.m.? I made it. I'm here.
There's a bee on you.
What?
Watch a new Young Sheldon Thursday on CBS or stream anytime.
Join us weeknights. We're live at 5 as we go around the Northland, city by city.
CBS 3 weather is brought to you by St. Luke's. Now, the CBS 3 Duluth Weather Max forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Well, let's talk about high temperatures. We saw earlier that low temperatures hit as low as 7 below for some towns. Today's high temps Wind as high as 13 above for places like Hayward and Watersmead, but perilously close to 0 towards Ord, only 1 above, 9 above for Silver Bay, 10 degrees straight up for our friends in Moose Lake. Tomorrow morning is going to start fairly chilly with a few towns going below 0 in northern Minnesota again, but the afternoon finish will be a lot warmer. We're going back up towards 30 degrees as a low pressure system helps to draw warmer air up into our region for maybe 2 days before we cool back down again to start the weekend. This is a live look at what's going on in downtown Ely right now, and you can see some snow on the sidewalks there from the last rounds of snow that we did get. Next round of snow, like I mentioned, is tomorrow, but it's only a 20% chance. Current temp at the airport, 3 above. Northwest wind, it's going 8 miles per hour, and our air pressure is on the higher side at the surface at 30.25 inches of mercury, but up aloft, low enough for some clouds, and a couple of snow showers over at least half of the region here today. Didn't add up to too much, but did grease up the roads just a little bit. Current temps, single digits above 0 from Ironwood to Watersmead. And in Wisconsin, we're going as warm as 12 towards La Pointe, and as cool as 0 in Solon Springs, Superior, Hayward, Ashland in between. 3 to 5 above right now from Cloquet to Moose Lake. 0 to about 1 above from Silver Bay towards Two Harbors, and a lot of 1 above once we get farther into the Arrowhead here. It's this zone, of course, that could go below to about 5 below come tomorrow morning, while the rest of us, like this morning, hover around 0 for the low temp. But as I mentioned, it warms up tomorrow afternoon, and we get a better chance for light snow than we got today, although it did pay off from the Twin Ports in through the snow belt here. And in fact, tonight the snow belt could get a little more lake effect going on. But the system that's bringing the flurry chance tomorrow is an actual low pressure system that's down to the south of our region and running along the border with Iowa and heading off to the east. So 20% chance for maybe a ½ inch worth of flurries tomorrow. And into Thursday, it might spill into there as well, at least during the morning hours, before come Friday, higher pressure draws down cool Canadian air again, and we go back below 0 for Friday. And Saturday mornings, we just might warm up a hair again, though, come next Sunday when our next chance of snow will come across. So here's that extended forecast. Tonight in Minnesota, low temps from 5 below inland, maybe even 7 below towards Hibbing to 3 above by the lake. Looking at Wisconsin and Michigan, 2 below to 0. South Shore lake effect is possible there. And then for tomorrow, near 30 for Wisconsin, Michigan, 20% chance for flurries. Minnesotans get a 20% chance for flurries, high temps upper 20s to lower 30s. And now with the extended forecast, it stays reasonably mild through Thursday, then comes up sunny and cool on Friday, 5 below for the start, 10 above for the finish, partly cloudy sky. Saturday gets a flurry chance, which leads to a 50-50 shot of light snow on Sunday, and by light I mean a trace to 2 inches according to the latest models.
Thanks, Dave. Duluth has become snowier, wetter, and warmer. That's according to new early data of a 30-year climatology report to be released by the National Weather Service later this year. State climatologist Pete Boulay says there are changes year-round, but the biggest changes seem to be coming in the winter in the form of warmer temperatures as well as more snow.
One thing that was kind of interesting is that September became drier from the old normals quite a bit, over ½ an inch, and February became wetter. So, and also what became wetter too was December. December went up. So what we're seeing overall in Duluth is kind of a wetter winter, which matches a little bit snowier too.
The new data, which is expected to be released in May, also seems to suggest that on average, December will now become the snowiest month in Duluth, overtaking January. A Duluth woman tackling a massive winter hike in Wisconsin has already completed 300 miles. Back in December, we introduced you to Emily Ford and her hiking partner, Diggins. They were training to complete the 1,200-mile Ice Age Trail. Now, she says she's met a ton of great people and seen some beautiful sights during these first 3 weeks. Now, before the two hit the trail again tomorrow, they shared the video with us on their rest day.
Everything's going great. Diggins and I are doing pretty well. She's over in the corner taking a nap right now, or else I would have her say hello. But we're just chugging along.
Ford asks that you continue to get outside, enjoy the outdoors, and respect the earth. She hopes to complete her journey in a month and a half. Still ahead in sports, changes coming to the UMD hockey schedule this weekend. Kelly tells us when the puck will drop, coming up next.
Every Thursday through March 25th, it's Kiosk Cash.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
Have you been thinking about selling your home? If you've been putting off some of those interior projects, now is the perfect time to start setting goals for yourself before the busy spring selling season. Visit yournorthlandhome.com for a list of ideas on what to organize, clean, or upgrade in order to get the biggest bang for your buck. Ready to sell now? Don't wait till spring. Inventory is still low and homes are selling fast. Call to schedule a private consultation with the JS Realty team.
At Menards, we have what you need to finish your painting projects. Dutch Boy DuraClean Interior Paint is a paint and primer in one with a beautiful look that's washable, scrubbable, and stain resistant. Interior flat is just $19.99 a gallon. Plus, we offer free custom color matching and tinting to create over 2,000 color options. Give your home a fresh look and save big money with Dutch Boy Paint from Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Missy, it's freshman orientation. Which bow tie says mature enough to be in college?
They both say we are kiddo eats alone. My son, the college freshman.
I'm excited to finally use college ruled paper and not feel like I'm living a lie. Everything is perfectly under control. Ah, honestly, who drinks a Slurpee at 11 a.m.? I made it. I'm here.
There's a bee on you.
What?
Watch a new Young Sheldon Thursday on CBS or stream anytime.
Everything that happens on a day-to-day basis in terms of news, no matter what happens in news, weather is always constant, weather is always changing as well. So it's still an important role as the meteorologist to kind of still stay grounded and to kind of just know that role and what to take and kind of just make sure you're delivering what's the most important for your viewers. But then also I like to touch base on the national things. All of those news stories also tie in with weather stories because they do go kind of hand in hand.
Watch Jenna and Caitlin in the morning at 5 and 6 a.m.
Epilepsy can affect anyone with a brain.
It does not discriminate.
If you have a brain,
You can get epilepsy.
But here's something that's just as important to know.
anyone with a brain can affect epilepsy.
So let's use our brains to do just that.
Let's change the way people think about epilepsy.
To find cures.
Because if all of us can get epilepsy,
All of us
Can end epilepsy.
We just need to use our brains.
Let's use our brains.
Let's use our brains.
Let's use our brains to end epilepsy.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear. Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
When severe weather hits, tune to CBS3 for up-to-date coverage morning and night. Now, CBS3 Sports with Kelly Hinson.
Well, I can never promise that there won't be schedule changes here and there in the college hockey season. That's after this weekend series with Miami was postponed. But what I can tell you is that the wait will be worth it. The UMD men's hockey team has been in quarantine for over a week now, and their upcoming series with Western Michigan has been pushed back just a day. In a press release put out earlier this afternoon, the decision to reschedule the series is consistent with the National Collegiate Hockey Conference's COVID-19 protocols developed by the conference's Health and Safety Competitions Committee, as well as the conference's game schedule policy developed by the NCHC's Athletic Council, which means that the Bulldogs and Broncos will square off Saturday at 6:07 p.m. and then again on Sunday at 4:07 p.m. Both of those games will be on our My9 Sports Network. And speaking of My9, we have a great high school hockey matchup featured tonight. The top-ranked team in Class A, Hermantown, and the Iron Range to head up to the Iron Range to take on Hibbing Chisholm. They get going at 7:00 p.m. tonight. The third period heroics finally ran out for the Wild last night. After two of the most thrilling victories possible to open their season, they weren't able to complete their third straight comeback out in Anaheim. It was a tight game with only one goal scored. The Ducks finally broke through with what ended up being the game winner in the third period for the 1-0 win. But maybe more of a worrisome area than the loss is Minnesota's power play production. The Wild have now started the season with a combined 0 for 16 with a man advantage, currently the worst rate in the NHL.
No,
No, we were real happy with the power play. Obviously, very disappointed that we haven't scored on it yet, but likely the only negative is we didn't get enough pucks to the net, but it was, I mean, we have substantial possession time, real good looks. We think, honestly, it's a matter of execution.
And the Wild will get a rematch with the Ducks tomorrow night at 8:30. And just this afternoon, the Wild made a deal to the Colorado Avalanche to trade defenseman Minnesota trade their defenseman. Minnesota receives Ian Cole and send Greg Pattern to Colorado. Both are pending free agents this offseason. It's a matchup we've waited a long time for. The first ever playoff clash between Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. This Sunday in the NFC Championship game, they've met a few times in the regular season, including just a few months ago in Tampa Bay. The Buccaneers handed the Packers really their only bad loss of the season, 38-10. If you could bet that Matt LaFleur and company remember that one well.
You know, they did a good job. You got to give them credit. They were more prepared to play than our group was. So, but I think you always got to take everything you can out of every situation. You're always learning. I think our team has come a long way from that day. But, you know, everything's just words at this point. You got to go out there and you got to have a great week of preparation, and you got to go earn it on the field.
I can't say I'm not looking forward to that matchup. That's going to do it for sports for now. We're going to have high school hockey highlights coming up tonight at 10. Tony, I'll send it back to you.
Thanks, Kelly. Tonight on the CBS3 News at 10, Arcelor is out and Cliffs is in. Following a sale at the end of 2020, Cleveland Cliffs purchased ArcelorMittal USA at a price tag of about $1.4 billion. Along with that came a shakeup at local mining operations, including the Minorca mine in Virginia. Kristen will have more on what this means for union workers in tonight's Eye on Mining. Well, deer are normally skittish when they sense or see humans. However, one in Iron River, Wisconsin did not shy away from strangers. Derek is a curious 2.5-year-old who, with the help from his dad, was able to get close enough to touch this deer on your screen right there. Look at that friendly deer. It makes many of us happy to be close to nature, but Derek's smile after getting to give that little guy a pat sure does say it all. Boy, Dave, have you ever had a wildlife encounter like that? Look at that.
No, I can't say that I have.
Yeah, every time I see a deer, it's just...
Yeah, it's the tail going the opposite direction.
See you later, yep.
That's the way it rolls.
And they'll be moving tonight because it's cold out there.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty chilly. You know, Paul Carpenter from WKLK Radio got a hold of me and said he's got guests up from Florida, and they're not really grooving on this cold weather here. And it's going to be below zero again tomorrow morning, probably, by a few degrees near Cloquet. But tomorrow we warm up to 30, so let those folks know that's tropical January weather for us. Just a slight chance for some flurries on Wednesday. Then it stays mild on Thursday, but goes back to a little bit nippy there for Friday and Saturday. Then our next chance for snow could come around and come calling by Sunday. A 50-50 shot there for an inch or two.
That's your news at 6. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again at 10.